we are in St. Louis, Missouri, and I have Travis Langley. Could you tell me a little bit about yourself, sir?
I am a professor of psychology at Henderson State University, a university that supports comic scholarship. We have a graphic novel room at our library, other professors who've taught classes related to comics studies. I teach forensic psychology, abnormal psychology, and every spring a course related to media, psych and literature, psych and film, comics and psychology. Last spring it was one called Batman. I could have called it something like the psychology of nocturnal vigilantism. No, I called it Batman. Only students who wanted the word Batman on their transcript took that class. And this semester I'm teaching one on Stanley heroes.
Awesome. And so what do you got going currently? What's your current project?
Well, I've been promoting the book that I had come out the month before The Dark Knight Rises. My book, Batman in Psychology, A Dark and Stormy Night. A subtitle that I did not think was going to be the subtitle. It had been actually a joke I made off the top of my head while we were brainstorming on these. But we surveyed possible readers and they loved that. They said, yes, we would buy that. Yes, we would take this seriously. We see the meaning is like referring to the dark in the Batman. And it's been doing extremely well. Looking at the psychology of Batman and using Batman to teach some psychology. You know, talking about the trauma, talking about how it affects real people. You know, use fiction to look at some of the worst things in the world. Talking about real criminals, flamboyant criminals, insane criminals. Look at Batman's love life. Look at the Robins. Speculate on what Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung would have had to say about Batman. It's been a great time for me. I've been doing panels on the psychology of superheroes for several years now. Michael Uslan, the executive producer of all the Batman movies since the 80s, he wrote the foreword to my book. He's been doing panels with me for the last several years every summer. And we've had people like Adam West and Jerry Robinson, the creator of the Joker, and numerous comic book writers join us along the way. It's just a very special, fun, great thing to do.
Awesome. So where'd you go from here?
Well, we're in the process of right now of figuring out what I'm doing next. I've got a couple of topics I'd like to do. My agent has a favorite from among them, so I'm working on the proposal. My book's been this division of my publisher Wiley's bestseller since June. So I'm in good shape on that. We just got to pin down which one is next. I think I know what I'm doing next, but contracts aren't signed.
You can't talk about it.
I can't get into that yet.
Would you like to give a little plug for your son's book?
My son, Alex Langley, is the author of The Geek Handbook, Practical Skills and Advice for the Likeable Modern Geek. He had to have his first book come out the same year as mine.
Show off.
Well, mine came out 4 months first, so I still win. I've wanted it longer. If we figured out, overall, it's doing about as well as mine. His does a little better internationally, mine does a little better nationally. They're both doing well, though. His is a fun celebration of geekiness with some serious thoughts, but even that, he's got this sense of humor to him. He'll go for the joke before he goes for the serious advice first.
And you being a psychologist, have to go for the serious.
Well, he majored in psychology. He's got a master's in psychology. He teaches psychology himself. Now, some people will look at that book and go, "How old is your son?" I am older than people tend to think I look.
Well, I like to, I won't ask you how old that is, unless you really want to tell me. But, let's see, 29?
Close enough.
I like to close my interviews by giving my interviewee the opportunity to tell my audience something weird and wonderful about themselves. So can you tell me something weird and wonderful about yourself or your work?
Myself or my work? When I was in graduate school, I was an undefeated winner on Wheel of Fortune. Even though none of the puzzles were about superheroes or psychology, I won my car. It was when I still had a daytime Wheel of Fortune show, so everything was worth a little less. And the daytime show got canceled before I could do a Tournament of Champions. So I can't even watch the show. If I catch it even for a moment, that night I'll have a dream that somehow I figured out a way to do the show again.
Oh no. Well, very awesome. A big-time winner on the daytime Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, once upon a time.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, it was when I was in graduate school, and it was what we really needed at that point in our lives, too. We needed a new car. We had little kids. We got everything we needed at that particular point.
Oh, amazing.
It was nice. That was the weird and wonderful thing.
Very cool. Well, from St. Louis, Missouri and the Wizard World Comic Convention. This has been Travis Langley, and this is the Weird Review.
Thanks.